and Methodists and so on. So the Hmong Christian community has really been growing in Minnesota too. Also, there's diversity in terms of the dialects spoken, and the two major dialects of Hmong in the U.S. that spoken are Green and White Hmong, and sometimes Green Hmong is called Blue Hmong. The people totally understand each other. It's sort of like British and American English. We don't have good numbers, but we believe the Green and White Hmong are about 50 in the population, or pretty close to that. Also, another area of diversity is the 18 clans and their leaders, and we'll talk more about the clans a little bit later. But there are 18 Hmong clans in Minnesota, and they have, some of the larger clans even have their own organizations that perform services for their members. There's also Hmong veterans groups, and there's a couple Hmong veterans groups, and these are veterans who served during the war with General Vang Pao, and they stay active sort of as fraternal groups. There's two major Hmong, at least two major Hmong veterans groups in Minnesota. There could be more than that. Also, there's professionals groups, nonprofit leaders. There's a Hmong Chamber of Commerce that's pretty active in the Twin Cities as well. There's also activist interest groups. There's been a lot of young people in the community who have been active on sort of fighting for the human rights of the Hmong in Thailand and Laos. And there's also some groups over the years that have been active on women's rights in the Hmong community. For example, there's a group that's been called the Hmong Women's Action Team in the Twin Cities. It's important to understand, in the newspaper there may be the same 2 or 3 people from the Hmong community who the media have sort of adopted as well, who they call the Hmong leaders, who are quoted in the stories. But the vast majority of the Hmong in Minnesota are, they live in, they're members of working class families and not really part of that professional elite. And now there's a recent source of increasing diversity in the Hmong community, and that would be the Hmong refugees who arrived from the Wat in Thailand. And there are more than 5,000 of them in Minnesota. And of course, their experiences have been somewhat different than the Hmong who've been living in Minnesota for a while, so they may have different views on some issues as well. And it's really important to understand that